Because the goal is to control the board, not to take the king. So the goal of the arms in this exercise is to connect his pressure to your feet through the body. And you do that by minimizing the surface area and trying to isolate the most centripetal point of engagement. So you only want to touch with the point that takes his pressure into the ground. And as you both work with that idea, you no longer are trying to push the other person with your arms, and maybe not even push them at all. So you're looking for that alignment, that superior position. And if you can do that with a push, then you can do it with punching and throws and joint locks and even conversation. It becomes a guiding principle for this relationship and your relationships with the world in general. Relax. Pour down through the core, through the dantian. That's it, right through there. That's it. So maintaining that connection to the ground becomes a process of letting go of attachment, meaning attachment to surface area, attachment to multiple points. If you try to control too much, you end up controlling a bunch of points, and that gives the other person more things to push against. And the ratio of surface area, your surface area to theirs, becomes unfavorable. So the favorable position is for you to have fewer points of contact, or only one, and for them to be pushing with several points of contact, because all of the points of contact will not be able to push in the same direction. So their power will be diffuse, it'll be dispersed, and your power will be focused. So you're looking to minimize the points of engagement, to make it as centripetal as possible, meaning as connected to the earth as you can. That's the needle in the cotton. So it's really easy if you are the needle inside the cotton and they are the one trying to hit a bullet with the broadside of a barn. As soon as you both are looking for that needle, then one person is on target, then the other person isn't. And if you both have the same skill level, you won't be able to tell who has the advantage. And that's when you start using technique that is inappropriate. But if you can tell that you have the advantage and they can't tell who has the advantage, then they will make mistakes. And it forces you to take the ego out of the equation. As soon as the ego gets involved, there's more surface area. You end up applying more pressure. If you take the ego out of it, then it's this continual process of letting go of the fight. And as soon as you think of pushing, it becomes a technique. And you get attached to it, and then it becomes surface area for however long you hold on to it. If you do that and you then let go of it before they realize your error and take advantage of it, then you can do that as a tactic. So you basically commit an error to make them think that there is an error to exploit, and then you stop making the error and follow them to wherever they're going. But in order to do that, you have to first be really good at not making the error in the first place. Nice. Yeah. That's why the practice of push hands is very different from competitive push hands. Mm-hmm. In the competitive push hands, you're trying to beat the other person.
Arguably more valuable, I think, the practice of push hands.
Right, because the practice of push hands is learning how not to lose. Competitive push hands is learning how to win. And the problem with that, of course, is you run into this conflict where as soon as you get behind a point, and you feel like you have to make up the point. Mm-hmm. And this happens in all kinds of competition. As soon as you feel like you're behind and you have to regain, then you start making errors trying to make the other person, trying to defeat the other person, which is usually what caused the problem in the first place. So If you've lost a point, just accept the fact that that's a learning experience, and it's taught you that you were trying to do something when you shouldn't have.
Right.
And you're not going to win by then trying to do something to get it back again.
Ironically, then the most regarded sport fighters don't get caught up in that either. Just kind of keep with their understanding of the situation.
There was a famous judoka who they asked him, if I remember the story correctly, they asked him what his strategy was, and he said that what he does is before he goes to the competition, he finalizes his will, pays off his debts, fixes anything that's broken, makes sure that he's reconciled with anybody that he has conflicts with. That way that if he dies, and he goes there with the idea that this is not about winning.
Yeah.
It's not about surviving. It's about being correct. And this comes up in martial arts lore everywhere in the world, whether it's European medieval martial arts or Chinese or Arjuna. It's not about being right, it's about doing right. So the idea is to maintain the proper relationship at all times. That's it. So I use the chess analogy. It's not even about controlling the board. It's about understanding your relationship with the board and understanding your relationship with gravity and with the opponent. That's it.